going on, everybody? Hunter Zeigler here with Recruit Creative, and I'm on a backcountry hunt right now. We're on day number 4 of the hunt. Got a little bit of downtime here in the early afternoon, waiting to go back up and chase some of those bugling bulls. We've got a little bit of a full moon this week. It's been pretty tough. They've been bugling a lot at night, and then it's either early morning and late in the evening where you even have an opportunity. So figured I'd take this time to show you a new pack that I'm carrying this year. This is the EXO MTN Gear K4 5,000 cubic inch pack. Previously, before, I carried Alps Outdoors Commander X or something. It's got a big long name like that. It was like a $300 to $400 pack, somewhere in that range. It weighed about 9 pounds, and I just wanted to upgrade to give myself a little bit more space this year and come in at a lighter weight. I think that other pack being at 9 pounds was already costing me too much weight. So this pack here is, I believe, somewhere around the 5 pound range. I'll put it in the description and all that good stuff, but I just kind of wanted to go through my first thoughts after hunting with it for about a week, and the things I do like about it, or if there's something I don't like about it. Figured I'd let you know. This is an expensive pack. I wouldn't say that if you're a beginner and somebody that you're not even sure if you like to elk hunt a whole lot, I wouldn't say that this is probably the way to go, because you're paying for this thing a pretty penny. But so far I can say that it's been worth every penny. I haven't been able to pack one out with it yet, but if I do, I will update this video, or I'll include it in there because we still got a few days of hunting left.
Alright, so here's the update. The next day after starting this review, my buddy Jordan took down a bull, and I got to make 2 different loaded down trips with the K4 5000 to break it in. The first trip was around half a mile with a heavy front quarter, and the next day was another heavy 70 to 80 pound pack of deboned meat. That trip was over 6 miles, and the K4 5000 handled it like a champ. The thing that stuck out to me the most after the heavy pack out was that I only had soreness in my calves and a little bit of soreness in my traps. It's safe to say that this pack distributes the weight phenomenally. I also carried my bow on my back for the shorter trip, and it felt rock solid to the pack with the amount of straps holding it tight. The pack was quiet, breathed really well, and the thick foam kept the meat separated from any heat/sweat that was coming off my back. The temps were nearing 85 degrees for a portion of that pack out, but after all was said and done, the meat was still cool to the touch after the 6 mile trip. The pack functioned as expected, and I can't really find anything to complain about regarding meat hauling capabilities.
Yeah, I'll just kind of break down so far what I've got in here and kind of how I'm carrying it and give you the runaround on it. So I will start by saying this is like a 6-day hunt for us, so everything you might need for 6 days in a trip we've backpacked in about 3 miles and set up a spike camp, I guess you would call it. So yeah, originally I had a tent, I had a sleeping pad, sleeping bag, all my food, and some of the stuff that you can see here. But once we got our spike camp set up, I was able to lose a lot of that weight. So I've been carrying around, I would say, somewhere in the 20 pound range with it empty, without my tent and stuff in it, day pack hunting. With it full, on my way in, we did 3 miles, I believe, and I was around 53 to 55 pounds the last time I checked. So I had a lot of weight on my back, and I'll go ahead and start out by saying I don't feel that there's much of a difference when you increase the weight. If you go up in increments of 10, it takes a lot of weight to start feeling it into your hips and stuff. This pack does a really good job of distributing the weight. I don't ever find my hips are never really burning out on me. It's some in the traps. Occasionally you'll feel some stuff in the legs, but there's nothing being caused, none of my pains being caused from this pack. I'll go ahead and start out. I'll flip it around, show you something that is a key to all that distribution is these big oversized hip belts. They do a good job of squeezing around the hips, fitting real nice and tight. And we've got some molly webbing on the sides. I've got a Mystery Ranch rangefinder pouch in here, basically, is what I keep in it on one side, and then on my other side I'm carrying a 1911 pistol with an alien gear holster, and that is also a MOLLE attachment. So you're pretty much able to carry that's the best way to carry, I believe, with these packs, because you don't want to be carrying outside the waistband and then taking that hip belt around it. There would just be too much pinching, but I haven't had any pinching. Pack hasn't squeaked on me at all, so those are two pretty important things, and none of that's happened so far. But I'll go ahead and break down some of it. On the side pouch, I've just got a bugle tube. I've been leaving this a lot because it seems like in here they're not really coming to it. Go ahead and open up here. You got a big zipper pouch. You got one on both sides actually, so that's super awesome. My old pack I think only had one side. This is what I used to actually pack down my tent, but for now I got like a action camera, a selfie stick type of thing that I can get an extra angle with. Got a bag with my kill kit stuff in it. But these are big, deep pouches. I believe you could almost, I don't know if you can fit this in here or not, depending on how much stuff you had. You could make it work if you wanted. Some of it's still sticking out the top, so you can see how big that pocket is. Almost fits the whole bugle tube. We'll flip it around to the other side. Got some trekking poles that sometimes I carry, sometimes I don't. Just depends on if I'm gonna be crossing any water, or you know, if we're gonna pack one out, I'll probably have these ready to go. Got those on Camo Fire for a good price. Nalgene bottle. EXO Mountain makes its own holder for these Nalgene bottles and stuff like that, and I believe it goes right in here on this. I haven't found a need for it though. I've just been carrying it in this pocket, and then I like to take one of these ropes and clip it in, and then that way I know that if it comes out of that pouch, I'm still good to go. So it's actually got another entry point too. So not only can you come in from here, you can come in from over in here, and that's actually a separate space. So if you wanted to, say, stuff your gloves, something down in there extra, it's got an extra spot for it. So another good feature. Go ahead and get into the lid here. We film all of our hunts. This is where I'll keep my DSLR. Right now I've got some gloves in here, and then I've got some like camera stuff, batteries, stuff like that. So that's a pretty big pouch. This camera's pretty good sized. I find myself getting in here a lot, so, and it's adjustable. Sometimes I'll carry my bow. You can loosen these straps here, lift it. Well, you gotta undo the buckles, go over the bow. Then you've got straps on the front that you can also strap around the bow. I just got done carrying. The thing was rock solid. It wasn't bouncing around. I've always been kind of nervous about that with my sight and stuff, but it wasn't an issue at all. So I'll go ahead and unbuckle these. Also up on the lid here, you got another little pouch. I've been keeping a fork. Got my headlamp, some instant coffee, some good stuff here. Black Rifle makes it. Sometimes this stuff varies too. I'll mix in different stuff depending on the day. I'll go ahead and get into the main compartment here. This is where the bulk of my stuff will be carried as far as clothing goes. And you've got 2 points of access on this as well. You've got this zipper system that goes all the way around. It comes with 2 zippers too. Open that up, or you can come in from the top if you want. It's got a nice fold down system so that nothing falls out. You can see here, open this up, and then you can get anywhere you need in there. That's really good about once you're filling your pack up, you got stuff up to this point. It's hard to get other stuff in here, but when we packed in, I had this thing very tall, and then you can imagine that lid goes right over the top of it. So I've had no issues with zippers, anything. Everything's really high grade material. And you can see in here, I've just got clothes, I've got base layers, always got a puffy jacket, another hoodie. Got a little bit of food in here for today, not very much. I've already ate about half of it. And then this is a waterproof divider in here, I guess you would call it, so that your water bladder compartment can't leak through into here. I'll show you that here in a second. But also on this front zip down portion, front panel if you want to call it, you've got a space to put some like cords or power banks. That's kind of what I've been doing with it. You could put anything. You put your phone in there, but just a nice storage space. I'll go ahead and zip that up. And then you got a front zipper here. This is where I keep my first aid kit, stuff that I need to get to pretty fast. I don't have my dude wipes in here, but that's also where I'll keep those. And a lot of these, I haven't touched on this yet, but a lot of these areas have the ability to put like a stash sack in here. Like you can clip on to different places inside the bag. This might not be one of them. Can't seem to find it at the moment. I don't really use those a whole lot, so just know that that's there and that you have the ability to be a little more organized if you want it to be. I believe there's something like that up here. So in this compartment here, this back zipper, this is where you would put your water bladder. I've got like a 2-liter bladder in here, and then you're able to run it out the back. You can kind of see I've got it ran out here, and then I run it through one of the straps. And I don't know, the only thing I don't like per se about this pack so far is that I haven't been able to find a way to, and I know there's ways, I just haven't spent enough time to clip this tube here to keep it from like falling behind your shoulders or something. Which I assume I could probably find a way to maybe clip it in here to this buckle or something like that, but I've just been tucking it around the shoulder and then I'll go through my bino harness, so it's really not that big of a deal at the end of the day. I just wish that there was, you know, something here, which maybe I could use this. That helps. I mean, right there, you could do that, but I don't know. I'd almost prefer a clip, but still gets the job done at the end of the day. And then water bladder in there. And I've actually been dropping down other stuff in here. Like I keep my Catadine squeeze filter. It's like a 1-liter bottle. I'll keep it in there, empty or full. I've been able to fit both, especially day hunting. Yeah. So that's pretty much the overview on that whole system. The strap's really good. I mean, there's nothing really I can touch on there. Everything's rock solid, no issues. As far as comfort goes, I've had no problems. Like I said, it's been a very comfortable pack. This pad here is incredible. Make sure that if you get this pack, you adjust your frame height to fit this pad in the correct place. You can check out EXO MTN Gear. They've got their own videos on a lot of that stuff, but get that in the right position, and your straps in the right position, and that will fix a lot of your issues if you're having some, you know, hip pains or trap, or you're feeling too much here or there. So the weight distribution with this being adjustable is no issue as long as you order the correct size. You got your buckle, typical chest strap, then your hip straps, and they have the nice system where you can tighten down or loosen up with these little buckles here. You just pull on them, or you pull tight like that. So I mean, you can't beat that stuff at all. Another thing, you've got some more Pals webbing here that you can attach MOLLE stuff, or like I have here, I have a Garmin Mini InReach, and they make a holder for it. I didn't feel like spending the extra money. Took the carabiner clip and just folded it there. No issues at all. So yeah, as far as comfortability and then practicality of it, just all across the board, it's unbelievable. And I think this will be the pack that I'm going to be using for at least 10 years or more. But if you guys have any questions, be sure to drop them down in the comments below. I'll try to help you out as much as I can. You can also go over to EXO MTN Gear's channel. They've got a ton of helpful videos on this stuff, and I will say that's part of the reason I'll buy this pack here, made in America. plenty of instructional videos. They've really got good customer service as far as that goes. They'll shoot you some emails as far as getting stuff set up and ready to hunt. But yeah, so far super impressed. Hopefully I'm coming back at you with some haul out footage